Got my hands up, we're party in the USA. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey everybody, happy 4th of July weekend. Welcome back to the Krush House. And to celebrate, they're going to put some fireworks in over my head right now. What's up? We can't do that? Okay, well listen, I got 3 guys that'll provide enough bang for today's show. Wayne Allyn Root, our fearless leader. He will be talking some football with Sean Salisbury, who's our co-host every week. Sean, R-O-U-C-K in the USA, because he went to USC. And of course, the NBA's baddest of them all, Rick Mahorn. Rick, living in America, Mahorn, here to talk about the NBA playoffs. Rick, you love talking about the other guys. Come on, Milwaukee last night? Or you say Bobby Portis Jr.? Who is this guy? Scores 22 filling in for Giannis. What'd you think?
You know, it always is going to be the other guys, and especially since I'll enunciate his name right for you, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I know you can't understand a lot of the lettering and stuff. You got like 36 letters, whatever.
By a vowel, right, Rick? By a vowel.
Yeah, by a vowel. Yeah, by 2 vowels. But
right.
When you have a team like Milwaukee, you got to look at Brook Lopez. He had 33 points. And he was in the paint. You know what? Everybody has a different role, and we know it in sports always, and Sean knows it as well. You know, some guys can flourish when the other guy is out, especially when Trae Young was out the night before, you know, the game before. But here, Giannis is always in the paint. So you got to make sure you open up the court using Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez was a starter with the Brooklyn Nets and New Jersey Nets back then. He was in the paint. Then he perfected, worked on his craft, and he's got a three-pointer. So that helps him out being in today's NBA. Bobby Portis, let me just say this to you. He was a starter in Chicago. Then all of a sudden, you know, a little couple of things happened, and then no more Bobby Portis. Let's trade him. So here's a chance and opportunity. You grab that, and especially in the playoffs right now, you're looking at elimination game for the Atlanta Hawks. Somebody's going to step up, either Bogdanovich or, you know, don't know what the status of Trae Young is. But, hey, you got to keep playing. Lou Williams with them lemon pepper chicken wings. He was getting it in. I was like, thank you very much, Lou. More for me, Lou, especially if you're looking at the spread. I'm like, oh, shoot, somebody cleaned up.
Yes, and I did too. And Rick, you were so right. And we know the stars, we expect when Trae Young's out there, Giannis is out there to do their thing. And I think we've all decided in this series that Milwaukee was bunched with more other guys that could take over a game. You mentioned those two. Let's not leave out the defensive end and on the assist part of Drew Holiday last night. And then we know what Chris Middleton continues to do his thing on a regular basis. So this is good. This game was so important not to put yourself in a position to be eliminated if Giannis doesn't go. I love what Milwaukee's doing with their other guys, and they've got a legitimate chance to sew this one up. But they better, because when you get to the Suns, they got a bunch of other guys that are pretty good too.
Sean, I know when it comes to the Suns, it's twofold for you. It's the Phoenix Suns you're in for, and your son he's cooking for the Phoenix Suns, right? I mean, they punched their ticket. They're in the finals. It's a very exciting time. Now, Rick, let me know, what was it like when you made your first NBA finals? That wasn't 89, was it? Was it 89, or it was the year before, right? Yeah. 88, right. So tell me what it was like. I mean, I know you weren't satisfied, but what's it like knowing you get to the finals in 88?
You know, we were a young team, and you got to figure it was like we accomplished the goal, but we didn't accomplish the goal.
Right.
Because we ended up losing in the finals. We lost in a 7-game series. We had the advantage. This is when they used to go 2-3-2. We had a chance to close them out in Detroit. Here's the thing. You looked at Milwaukee, who could have didn't go down there. No Trae Young, had Giannis, but it was like more of this lax approach. We seen it with Phoenix when they went at home, could have closed them out. It was that lax approach, because when you don't have your stars, a lot of times as a professional athlete, you sit there, well, they ain't got Tom Brady. They don't have this. This is going to be an easy walk in the park. Then all of a sudden, bam, they pop you in the eyeball. That's what professional sports is. It's like, okay, we achieved the goal, but the goal is not complete unless you get that championship. So I'm expecting from Sean and his brother, his son, to get that Salisbury steak ready to see what's going to happen.
The friggin' best meat you bastards will ever eat in your life is Salisbury
Hunger
steak,
Man.
prime grade A. Rick, let me follow that up real quick with this. Yeah, that's horrible. Let's make no mistake about it. It's awful. But the team is good. Rick, is there any chance that like a team like the Suns who have championship rings aren't running through that organization right now on the current team, any chance they breathe a sigh and say, oh, we got here? Dangerous course, right? To breathe a sigh and say, we made it, but the job's not done yet, as you mentioned about when you were in the league.
It's not done. And the thing is, you have these veterans on their team. You look at Jay Crowder, for example. He was in the finals in the bubble last year. He walked away, no ring with the Miami Heat. But here's the thing. You got CP3 who wants a ring. That right there, we're going to talk about trades, and how you can have a team that can just change the momentum and the trajectory of a team. When you acquired a guy like CP3, a guy that was in, the Lob City and back in OKC, one thing to having that kind of guy is a guy that people respect. But when he's playing with a bunch of superstars, it wasn't like they wanted to follow his lead because it was like, okay, he doesn't, I'm just as good as him. That's the thing, Sean. Frank knows that when you have a guy like a CP3, it's all about hierarchy. If you don't have the right hierarchy, then making these trades, that was a big trade. I said, Phoenix Suns got a chip on their shoulder. Now they bring a guy that has a damn big chip on his shoulder, and he took over the game. 41 points. Sure. Come on, man. He went into L.A. like, I used to play here, but I'm going to send you home early. Y'all can enjoy the summer like they say on TNT. They're gone fishing.
Hey, everyone. Wayne Allyn. All my picks are free at VegasWinners.com. The top sporting events in the world. Every single day there's something going on, and every couple of weeks there's a giant game, a playoff game, a holiday game, a Super Bowl level game. We got the winners against the point spread every single day, 365 days a year at VegasWinners.com. All you do is register. My picks are free. The whole gang's picks are free. VegasWinners.com. And all the podcasts, unlock it all at VegasWinners.com. Krush House Cappers, Krush House Legends. It's all at VegasWinners.com. What are you waiting for? Vegas Winners, where the winning is free.
Right. And Sean, listen, let's talk about the Phoenix Suns. You brought up a good point. Like, they're going to be, hopefully they're not satisfied they got to the finals. They're sitting around for a few days. They get to watch these games. Who does Phoenix want to play? Milwaukee? I mean, let's just say Milwaukee wins. I think we all think if it's Phoenix, Milwaukee, how do these teams match up? What do you guys think of that series as a final? That'd be awesome.
You probably know Giannis is going to get his, and Ayton's done a great job, guys, on both ends of the floor. Rick, you know this, of elevating his game this year. He needed to take another step, and he has. The other guys have performed. We know Booker's going to get his and play with competitiveness, but I love the fact that Chris Paul can do both. He can control a game without scoring 41, and then when he needs to, if somebody else isn't shooting well, he can also hang 41 on you. And you're right, Rick, the motivation that's there. And think about impact of players. I think they match up. Well, listen, nobody matches up well against Giannis if he's fully healthy, right? Nobody's. But you got to keep pushing him away from the basket and make him beat you away from the rim if you possibly can, as opposed to near it. That being said, think about Chris Paul's impact real quick, guys. When he went to Oklahoma City before he came to the Suns, they were supposed to tank. Had him near the playoffs, right? Supposed to tank. When he came to Houston, 3-1 lead over Golden State, injury, chance to go. He goes to the Suns. Now look at them. They go from 2 years ago, guys. I think they won 19 games 2 years ago. And now here they are as a team that's going to be the favorite. They're winning this championship. It just depends on if it's 6 or if it's 7. They're taking this thing home. Phoenix Suns are going to be crowned world champions.
Hey, listen, everybody's talking about name, image, and likeness. And Sean, you played at USC. I know you probably wish they had it back then. And Wayne's got some interesting points on this too. So let's hear from Wayne.
All right, Wayne Allyn. We got a segment every week about the NFL. Sean Salisbury, former NFL quarterback, is with me. Love to have a little repartee back and forth. Sean, welcome to the show.
Wayne, great to be with you, brother. Always look forward to it.
So the Supreme Court made a ruling, and I guess it's over for the rest of all time. The decision has been made. Athletes in college can get paid. They can have endorsement deals. They can make some bucks on the side. I like the decision. By the way, always, my entire career, I'm on the record, for 30 30 years now, I've said athletes should be paid. Why can't a college athlete be paid? Why should a kid who makes it to the university, $20 million be living in total poverty and not be able to take a girl out for a date because he doesn't have $20 in his wallet? Never made sense to me. So I'm all for it, and I hate the NCAA. I really do. They're just so sanctimonious. They're dictators. They think they own the athletes. I'm glad they stuck it to them. So I like the decision. How about you?
I'm with you 100%, Wayne. To me, there may be, the IOC could qualify too, but the governing body, the NC2A, has been one of the worst we've had. These guys earn money for the university, and I'm not into the hand-to-hand cash but this will prevent that. And I'm all for, like you said, even if it was a stipend, but put that aside. It's your likeness, it's your image. It's you putting the performance out there. If somebody wants to come say, give a speech for $10,000, you should be able to collect it, because not all those guys are going to go to the pros. Why not give them a start, Wayne? I'm all for it. This is overdue by about 40 years. And some guys may have to take a pay cut when they go to the NFL when this is all done.
Now, let me bring up two controversial aspects of this, though, Sean. Let me bring up number one. I didn't hear any ruling as to what's limited and what they can endorse. So what happens when a pot company, and pot is legal in your state, and a pot company comes calling, is a NCAA amateur athlete allowed to endorse marijuana? What happens when a gambling company comes calling?
Right.
And let me give you one more. In Nevada, prostitution is legal. We have legal bordellos. What happens when an athlete is asked to endorse a house of ill repute? What's the NCAA going to say about that?
Well, if you're a quarterback and you look halfway decent, you better not have to pay for anything when it comes to the prostitution part of it, because you should be able to at least get a date and go have a pizza and beer, right, Wayne? But the other two, I know, I'm pretty sure tobacco and alcohol are off limits for the athletes while they're currently playing. Now, with the marijuana, that's interesting, and I think what'll happen, even with it being illegal in a state, I think the NC2A or the school will trump that, because right now, if you fail a marijuana test, I believe when you're tested in college, you can't play. So I'm assuming that when it comes to drugs of recreation, alcohol, tobacco, and gambling, because it's not quite there with the college football yet, eventually I think it'll be okay. Right now, I think that'll be the limit. Other than that, Wayne, I'm not sure, other than those 4 or 5 categories, that there's anything you can't endorse.
And guess what? That'll go to the Supreme Court, too. I'll bet you if I was a player and I was 22, 23 years old, which a lot of them are, obviously an 18-year-old can't endorse something that's illegal for him or her to use. So obviously drinking and smoking and drugs are off limit, gambling's off limit, so you're 21. But if you're a 22-year-old grad student and you still have eligibility left, I think you have a right to endorse something that's 100% legal for you to use in that state. So we'll see what happens with the ruling on that. So let's move on to the New England Patriots. They got a big battle brewing. They've got a great number 15 first-round draft choice, Mac Jones. They've got Cam Newton at quarterback, who, of course, in his day was the greatest college quarterback in America and had some great years in the NFL with Carolina. Who's going to be the starting quarterback this year for the New England Patriots?
I think it's Cam's to lose, Wayne. And if Cam, health-wise has been a big issue, the guy is a phenomenal talent. And I think for Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, that Mac Jones fits more what he does, and he's had to evolve with Cam, and Cam trying to evolve. If Cam Newton's healthy, he starts, especially if they're winning and he plays well. And, he carries a chip on his shoulder, so it's his to lose. But if they start out 2-3, which I don't think they will, I think they're going to win again and challenge for a playoff spot. If they start off slow and he's not performing, Mac Jones, because he understands how to process information and does what Josh likes, can throw from that hula hoop in the pocket, he'll play. You'll see him at some point. It'll all depend on the record. Cam starts when we start. The key is, can he hold it down? Eventually, you'll see Mac Jones at some point this year. I think Cam Newton could be primed for a good comeback because they got their personnel back.
I agree that Cam's the starter. It's his to lose. But I've already heard rumblings out of the OTAs and the mandatory training camp that Mac Jones had a great camp, far more accurate than Cam Newton. So who knows? Maybe he beats him out in preseason. It's possible. But it is Cam's to lose. I'll give you that. He's got the experience. I wouldn't put a rookie in. I'd keep Cam. But I think the first 6 games, if they're 4-2, Sean, then I think it's Cam's for the rest of the year. If they're 3-3 or 2-4, I think it's anyone's ball game. If, in fact, Jones had a great camp and they think he's accurate,
And you make one great point about that, and a lot of great points. Is Mac Jones is more accurate than Cam. The key is in shorts and a T-shirt. In the NFL, how quickly they move. Can you make the same plays in full gear when they're hitting you in the mouth? But when it comes to accuracy, that's one of Mac Jones' strengths.
All right, and last but not least, best trade. NFL is only a month away preseason, 2 months away regular season. So let's dig into the NFL, Sean. Best trade of the NFL offseason that could lead to a Super Bowl.
There's two good ones that stick out. One to me is clearly better than everybody else, and that's getting Matt Stafford to the Rams, who I'm actually thinking, Wayne, that I might go drop me some good money on Matt Stafford to be the MVP this year. They're going to throw it. Sean McVay knows how to coach it. Matt Stafford's always put up numbers. Now he's got personnel. Do not sleep on Matt Stafford and the Rams. That's clearly because he's got the ball in his hand 65, 70 times a game. And as good as Jared Goff has been at times, Matt Stafford's far better. The Rams are not even sneaky. The Rams are a Super Bowl threat, and Stafford's an MVP threat. The other one has to be Julio Jones, what he's added for Tannehill and to help Derrick Henry out. They needed a big play guy. Those are the top two, but the quarterback's always going to trump everything else. And Matt Stafford, watch this season. Think 4,800, close to 5,000 yards in that offense.
Great minds think alike. I'd love to give you another option, but I looked at every trade, and I came up with Matt Stafford as my number one choice. Why, by the way? I want to mention a couple things. A quarterback could be as great as Joe Namath, as great as Roger Staubach, as great as Joe Montana. If the cast around him sucks, they're not going to win championships. So as great as those guys were, they all had great teams. Stafford has been great, and he's had a horrible team around him all these years. The last time he had a 1,000-yard running back was 2013, Sean. Reggie Bush. That's going back almost a decade. And the last time he had a top 10 defense was one time in his whole career. I don't even know what year it was. I know it was one time in his entire career. Now he's got not a top 10 defense, a number one defense, and he's got Akins. Cam Akins, his running back, is a workhorse, and there's no way the defenses can just key only on Stafford because Akins will burn you. So I think he's got the perfect situation. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, what a defense. I think the Rams should be the Super Bowl favorite. Of course, Tampa Bay is, but the value in the futures is betting on Stafford and the Rams plus 1,400. So we're in agreement on that one. I'm in Vegas. Maybe I'll put a little money down for you and me, Sean.
I would love that, Wayne, and I think we got a chance to win those, especially with Stafford. One last quick point about it, and you crushed it on this, is with Matt Stafford, think about it. All the years he's put up great numbers without that help you're talking about. Now he can go in knowing he doesn't have to make every single play to win. And when you have that feeling, you end up making damn near every single play. Matt Stafford's going to be fun to watch, and Sean McVay's going to love every friggin' minute of it, and you and I know it.
Thank you. Great segment. Sean Salisbury, NFL quarterback. Wayne Allyn, never a threat to be an NFL quarterback. See you next week.
Appreciate you, brother.
Let's move on real quick to Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush, he's a USC alum like yourself, Sean, talking about the Heisman Trophy. He wants it back. Should he get it?
It's his. He won it. Put the numbers up. I don't think he's going to get it anytime soon. I think this is going to be a longer process than we think. But those are his numbers.
What do you think? Should he get it back?
Give it back to him.
No. Why? I mean, come on. Back then, those are the rules.
Those are the rules. You don't even fucking believe that.
You can't do it. It's history. You just can't do it.
You watched him.
You know what?
Is he the Heisman Trophy winner that year?
I know, but they ain't giving it back to him. It's done. Stick a fork in it.
Yeah, you may be right about that.
He got the bag.
Thinking, right? There you go. Well, listen, if
the
name, image, and likeness would have been in when Reggie was around,
it wasn't around.
He could have paid for the house with
That's
the cash from the endorsement.
Look, I wish I did have a booster in Hampton.
There you go.
Probably got a damn sandwich.
Where the fuck was that? Hey, where the fuck was that booster when I was a highly recruited guy, Rick? Where was that house for $100 bill, right?
I love it. See, I knew this. I knew the Heisman thing would bring up some fireworks between you two, but that's great. I love it. Now, 4th of July weekend, fireworks. Come on. I want to know what your favorite firework is. Let's just have a little fun with this. I'm going to go bottle rockets because let's be honest. You have to empty a bottle of beer because explosives and alcohol, it's great. I always like bottle rockets, but they got to be whistlers. I was easy because they were easy to get.
Simple for me, Piccolo Pete. Makes noise, Piccolo. It's the one that whistles loud too. That's probably the same thing as you. We called it a Piccolo Pete growing up. Yeah, there you go.
Piccolo Pete.
Yes.
that the name? You named your other dog Piccolo Pete?
Yep.
Other than Patron?
No, that
I
was
know
my
it's
firework.
Patron, but
My
then
other
it's
dog's
Piccolo
Patron,
Pete.
dude.
Hey, Piccolo Pete. No, I don't. Listen, I have 3 dogs in my house. These are the things that I don't. When them firecrackers start to pop, listen, they running everywhere. So, you know what? I really don't have one, but I did like the snappers back in the day because you could save them, and then you're walking by people, you could throw them, and they just jump.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. Yeah. So, what are your plans for the 4th? Let me hear it real quick. What are you guys doing?
Well, you know what? All I'm doing is going to enjoy my family. That's all I do. I don't necessarily have to do anything exciting for the 4th of July. It's a great holiday because everybody gets Monday off.
I'm outdoors, either pool, beach, lake, but this is a Mount Rushmore holiday to me. I love our country. I love the music that goes with it. I love family being around like Rick, and it's simple cooking.
I'll tell you, I'm in Pittsburgh for the first time in 2 years, and I got my dog with me who's 95% deaf, so he's not going to be worried about the fireworks. So he'll be okay. My mom's going to watch him. And you just mentioned you love the music. I love patriotic songs. America the Beautiful is probably my favorite song, but there's a lot of great American songs. Rick, I know you told me yesterday your favorite, Rick, you told me your favorite patriotic song is Miley Cyrus's Party in the USA. Is that true?
Yeah, right. Mine's is James Brown in that Rocky movie.
That's why I introduced you. That's why I introduced you as Rick living in America.
I know, I understand. I was like, is he reading my mind?
I am. I'm not good.
Boy, I like when James stay. It was fun.
He mentions
Hey, and think I go back to the best lead guitarist in the world, Jimi Hendrix, in the national anthem. That when he was ripping through that. And
God bless
America, Lee Greenwood. That'll be the first song I listen to every 4th of July.
Was great.
Yeah, that's for me,
Marvin
man.
Gaye at the NBA All-Star.
Are you serious? Get out.
I was there, Rick. I was in that building. I was in the building, I swear. Dr. Buss, because he's an SC guy, he got me 4 tickets, and I was about 12 rows up, just off center court. I was in the audience, and the players were swaying back and forth. The crowd started swaying. I know Whitney Houston's version was awesome. For my money, Marvin Gaye's version of that All-Star game was the best I'd ever seen. The chills, it was phenomenal. I was in the building for that game.
Sean said Dr. Buss was a USC guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see, that's that image and that likeness and stuff. That was that stuff. He was getting the bag.
Listen, guys, it is the 4th of July. It's the best. Everybody have a safe trip or have a safe time on the 4th of July. You know what? Google right now. Go to YouTube and look up that Marvin Gaye version because I agree with Sean. It is the best. Listen, guys, you guys always.
Sean, what about me? I brought it up.
What? Okay, but he was there, so he gets credit. But anyway,
how you know? Did you see it?
I knew we would have plenty of fireworks on this show. Thank you, Wayne Allyn Root, for being on the show. Sean Salisbury, co-host every week. He's the best. And, of course, Rick Mahorn bringing it for the NBA playoffs. He'll be back next week. We'll be talking NBA Finals. Listen, everybody, have a happy and safe 4th. I'm here in Pittsburgh for the first time in a couple years. Can't wait to have some fun. And remember, throw some money on a game, right? Take Milwaukee. They're going to cover. That's my pick. We'll see you next time on Krush House.
Hey, go get a haircut, Frank. Shit, it's still open on Friday. Shit, that's
get a little longer. I know it's the
you keep putting your finger in your hair. Your hairline keep going back.
Shut up.
Chris Berman hairline.
That's so wrong.
I'm gone.
Spray paint the top of his head. There you go. You guys are wrong, man.